Take a gander into one of the most disturbing scenes ever put on celluloid. Witness the harrowing murder of a young blonde who's brutally mutilated before your very eyes. Journey into the mind of a killer. Into the twisted world of Alfred Hitchcock. Right here on 5 Minute Film School. It's been called one of the scariest moments in movie history, and is arguably one of the finest cinematic moments in American filmmaking. The shower sequence in Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho is one of the most thrilling and precisely edited scenes ever seen in a film. Alfred Hitchcock sets up Psycho with the character Marion Crane, who steals $40,000 from her employer. The audience thinks the entire film will revolve around her and her struggles, but 30 minutes through the feature, she is killed off, which throws the audience for a loop. Furthermore, the way she is killed and the effect that it has on the rest of the movie make it that more cinematic. When the character Marion Crane stops off the highway after a long day's drive, she checks into the Bates Motel. 12 cabins and 12 vacancies. She meets the caretaker Norman Bates, who is strange, friendly, but also very mysterious. Norman has this hunger of lust and violence in him that he has to fulfill. Norman watches Marion through a peephole as she undresses in her hotel room. This voyeuristic psychopath would ultimately be the undoing for Marion Crane. As Marion turns on the shower, she feels the water gently with her fingertips. She gets in and starts to bathe. Within seconds of her washing the white soap off of her skin, a silhouette is seen through the translucency of the shower drapes. The mysterious figure pries open the shower curtain, and to Marion's horror, the womanly figure repeatedly stabs her until she slowly dies from infliction. The shower scene was shot from December 17th through December 23rd in 1959. The 3-minute scene features 77 different camera angles, most of which are close-up shots, and 50 different cuts. The scene was storyboarded by designer Saul Bass, who allowed Hitchcock to carefully construct this sequence with the utmost perfection. Hitchcock described this one scene as a near-perfect piece of art. The blood that was used in the scene was chocolate syrup, the fake blood of choice for filmmakers during the black and white time period. When you hear the knife repeatedly stabbing Marion, the sound effect that they used was a knife plunging into a melon. Janet Leigh herself was actually the one in the shower the entire time, although some dispute that there was an actual double for certain shots where her breasts are somewhat visibly shown. A common myth was that Hitchcock had the water temperature turned down to be just ice cold to invoke a more realistic scream from actress Janet Leigh. This story was proved a myth many years later. When Hitchcock submitted the film to the MPAA, there was a big hubbub on the sequence itself as it showcased violence and nudity. Hitchcock retrimmed the sequence and took out any evidence of the knife actually penetrating the skin. However, there is one frame used in the scene where a knife is shown touching the abdomen of Janet Leigh, a millisecond before it actually goes through her. This one frame is the only frame where you see the knife even remotely touching her body. When Marion Crane falls to her death, the camera focuses on the blood as it circles around the sphere of the drain. The camera transitions from the drain to Marion's lifeless eye as a droplet of water runs down her face. Originally, Hitchcock's wife noticed a pulsating vein in Janet Leigh's neck, so the camera had to zoom away before it could be seen. Apart from the dramatic gore, what intensifies the shower sequence is the music. Bernard Herrmann, who scored the film, famously wrote a special sequence for the death of Marion Crane. He named it Screaming Violins, as the sound echoed a knife plunging into human tissue. This track, along with the scene combined, has given Psycho its master status as being one of the most shocking, scary, and violent scenes ever put on film. What Jaws did for swimming, Psycho did for showering. When Psycho came out, many reporters asked Hitchcock, why Marion Crane? Why did that poor young blonde lady deserve to die? Hitchcock's reply was simple and macabre. He said, "Blondes make the best victims. They're like virgin snow that shows up on bloody footprints." Alfred Hitchcock changed the landscape of cinema when he made Psycho. Lines were crossed as he pushed the boundaries of what could and could not be seen in a movie theater. He went against the decision of changing his film based on the MPAA guidelines, and forever set in stone what we know as the horror genre. Psycho remains one of the top greatest films of all time, and the shower sequence is not only the most memorable, but it is also the most chilling. Anyway, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time at 5 Minute Film School.